What is up, guys? On this week's episode, teamwork makes the dream work. So stop asking your wife to do all the work. And ladies, there's no need to remind us every 6 months that we did not change the light bulbs in the bathroom. It's on the list.
Yes, it is. The list is long.
The list is long. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Oh, I don't even know if it sounds good or not. I should probably listen to it.
You remember that show? Are we recording?
Yeah, I don't know where to put stuff like this. Like, this is great stuff. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I don't know what's going on, man. The weather just seems to be getting better and better every week. We're going into that time of the year.
We're coming up to the like middle of October, end of October.
Yeah.
I don't know when this show's going to be, and it might be Christmas by the time
Right.
this happens.
Well, we'll still be wearing the same clothes, but it's
whatever. We got our winter coats out. We're in my living room, so today it's okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Life's going okay though?
It's going all right. I mean, there's obviously there's bumps and things of that nature.
I'm picking the question today.
Get the question. But, I mean, it is what it is. We'll find out. We'll get through it.
This is related.
Oh, see?
This is funny.
Awesome. Well, let's jump to it.
What is your favorite chore? And I have two.
Chore.
All right, dead space.
Yeah, I'm like, chores. I'm like, nope.
All right, you think about it, and I'll tell you mine. The first one is, it's going to sound weird. I genuinely like the process and the end result of moving all the furniture, sweeping my wood floors, and then mopping them. Because then I don't have to wear flip-flops for at least an hour before crap just gets all over the floor. And the second one is, I'm going to call it a chore because it's my responsibility in our house. Making sure the oil gets changed in the cars and that the lights don't come on and tell my wife something else is broken.
Right. Man, I sit there and it's just like, I think chores has a negative connotation to it. It's like, what's your favorite thing that you don't want to do?
We have children. Chores have a negative connotation to them.
And I sit there and it's like, it goes with cleaning as well. I mean, I can sit there, I look at my house and it's like, when it's not clean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so my wife and I have a agreement. I don't do dishes. I hate dishes, and she understands that. But I'll do everything else. I'll dust. I'll vacuum. I'll whatever. And I love a freshly vacuumed carpet.
Oh yeah,
I really do. When you can sit there and I bought her a nice vacuum. I bought me a nice vacuum actually. And I go through there and I vacuum, and then I take it apart. I go along the baseboards. It has like the little duster. You can go on top of the baseboard. So I'm just like, oh, that's too short. Yeah.
This show just got really dirty really fast. So we call this our phallic vacuum cleaner.
Uh-oh.
But this thing for like the stairs is amazing. And it has the brush for the baseboards.
Yeah.
But it is short, so you gotta like one knee it or
I'm too old for that.
It's wireless.
Oh. Well, yeah, mine's battery. But
this is where we charge it. I didn't have the vacuum cleaner out just for this conversation.
We didn't plan
this. It
this.
gets charged behind the TV.
But I do. It's kind of odd. I'm a vacuum person. When we were first married.
That's not weird. It's probably my favorite chore when I first got married.
Oh, yeah. I still have our original vacuum.
Does it work?
It works. It's a Kirby.
Oh, man, you're old.
It's heavy. Yes, I am. But it works, and but it's too heavy, and that's not something I hated vacuuming stairs with it.
Sure,
but So I bought a smaller one. I forget what the name is. It's like a Dyson or something like that. And it comes
Yeah.
apart and it has, the telescoping thing. You can band-aid it, goes
Yeah.
under the beds. Everything's great. And I love that one. That to me, when you can sit there and you're like, okay, the carpet, we have dogs, so there's dog hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right. And then I have, 6-month-old. And she's learning to crawl.
Dog hair and Cheerios all over the place.
Yeah. So she's going to be putting that in her mouth. So, I mean, that's where constantly vacuum.
Mhm.
And I see that. And that would, to me, once I'm done doing that, I can look at the floor and it's clean-ish
Oh, yeah.
as best it can be, without actually going into carpet cleaning. That's where I'm at. I mean, it's like satisfying. You're pulling up the pile of the carpet, everything like that. It's like, yes, okay, I'm good. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So that ties into our topic today. Teamwork makes the dream work, and that's like something hilarious that we say, like, teamwork really does make the
Absolutely
dream
true.
work. So whatever your vision and stuff is, you're going to have a place to live and things like that. It is not 1950.
No.
It is 2021, maybe 2022. I don't know when we're going to air this episode. Today, it is almost
2021.
October. And our phones, apparently, we are popular people today. Anyway, words. It is not the sole responsibility of our spouses to maintain the house.
No.
Now, I have been a stay-at-home dad for most of the last 5 years, so it's been my job to maintain the house.
Right.
But I recently have gone back to working more closer to full-time hours. I work like 35 to 40 hours a week of like actual paid work. So we balance things out. Like the majority of the time, like on Mondays is my day off, and I enjoy having a clean floor. So knowing that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday there's stuff in my house. On Mondays I clean the floor, do all the laundry, and do all the like hard dishes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no like assigned role. Like I'm not that guy. Like my wife's gonna be at home, barefoot, pregnant, and the dishes are done. Like I would still be single if I had that opinion. But it's not always been where I'm the one taking care of the chores. When we first got married, I worked, and she was a waitress, and she was part-time. So, and we had a super little apartment, so it was not hard to clean.
Right.
So she would do the majority of it. And then when we had our first kid, she stayed at home. So she would do almost all of it, and I would work. And then when we both went back to work for a little bit, we split it. Like, hey, I don't mind doing dishes as long as you know that I'm going to use before I had a shop vac, I was going to use the carpet cleaner to suck dirt out of the bottom of the dishwasher every so often. Because like I'm a firm believer. I have a dishwasher. It costs me a lot of money. I don't need to wash dishes ahead of time.
Right.
Now I'm not like putting like giant chunks of chicken in there, but I'm not like scrubbing ketchup and like pieces of rice off. Whatever. My dishwasher drains into the garbage disposal.
Good to go.
And I understand if you have a house that doesn't have that set up, or
Right.
You have a grease trap or a septic system. I understand you actually need to pre-wash or scrape them off, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, share the responsibilities of the house. That's where we're going. Like, we all have jobs, we all have lives, we all have kids that have to be in too many places at one time.
Yes.
And often a clean house or lack of clean house becomes a stress point and becomes a tension point to where arguments happen and people blow up and people get nasty.
Absolutely.
Share in those responsibilities. Like in our current setup, I just cook and clean up. That's fine. But there are some days, there are some nights like yesterday, I picked up the kids from school. I came home, I cooked dinner, and I left. Yeah. And when I got home from work, like 6 hours later, like 1 o'clock in the morning, all the dishes were done. You know from listening to the show, my wife thinks that the house is clean if the sink is empty.
Yeah.
Well, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to do it, or I was going to have to get up early again and do it, she went ahead and did the dishes. That's the sharing the responsibility of the house. It's not just one person. It's a collective effort. Like, we have a chore chart on the other side of this camera that my kids have their list of things. Yep. They have their own bathroom. They're all more than capable of cleaning their bathroom. Every day, one of them cleans the bathroom at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They take turns doing the trash, and they take turns emptying the dishwasher. Pick things that are appropriate for your kids' ages.
Yeah, ages, yes.
A 6-month-old should not be emptying the dishwasher. Arguably, a first grader should not be emptying the dishwasher,
Right.
depending on what's in it. But we share the responsibility. That can be across the board. Like, we could even take this into a little bit of finances. Like, we have shared responsibility for discussion about how we spend our money.
Yeah.
Like, we have joint everything. We don't have any individual accounts.
Nope.
We have our minimum to spend without asking is currently $50. It changes depending on how the budget is.
Right.
But we sit down and talk, okay, it's the last half of the month. The last half of the month, all of the other bills get paid because the first half of the month is mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
And in our case, and auto insurance, because that's just where the date is.
Yep.
But we talk about those things, like shared responsibility. If you're a married couple that has separate finances, I think you're weird, but there has to be a discussion about how you share the responsibilities of the house.
Right.
And that's fine. I don't understand it, but that's fine. You just need to talk about it. So how do we approach shared responsibilities?
Again, I mean, everything's communication. If I can't stress that enough, communication in a marriage is the most important thing. If you want to have a good marriage, and there's been points in our marriage where, like you had mentioned, the stress of a dirty house, and it's like, why is this dirty? Why is this dirty?
Yeah.
And you sit there and you're kind of going, why should I even participate in cleaning the house when nobody else wants to clean the house? And you go back and forth, and now you just get chaos. That's all
Sure.
it is. So lead by example. Clean up. If your wife has, and like you said before, we're in a society where most of the time the husband and the wife work.
Yeah.
And so you're sharing the income load
Mm-hmm.
on all your finances. It only makes sense to share the workload at home.
Sure.
So, when we're a team, light hands, many hands make light work.
Yeah.
I was going to say it different, but that's what it means. That many hands make light work. You can do a lot of things. And there's times, even my wife, I'll be outside. I do a lot of the outside stuff. I spray. Weeks back, we mentioned about one of the questions was, I'm scared of scorpions. I hate scorpions. And I spray. I go out. I have a 4-gallon backpack sprayer. I spray. That's my thing. But we also live in an HOA. Weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Those time of the years, it was raining a little bit ago. Weeds pop up here in Arizona really fast. So there's
Faster
times,
than children.
Yes. Oh yeah. But that's where there's times where I'll go outside and I spray the weeds. And the ones that I can get to, there's times my wife comes out and pulls the weeds.
Sure.
In other areas, I'll be spraying the yard. I literally, in my neighborhood, we have the rock yards like you do in your front yard. I spray the entire front yard.
Yeah,
with
I
weed
do
killer.
too.
So I'm doing that. She's picking the ones out of our bushes, that are coming out from underneath our bushes or whatnot. And it takes the overall time and it makes it shorter. We're done faster. We can go shower. We can go do something now. Rather than, if she's cleaning the house and I'm just sitting there, oh, come on, hurry up. Let's go. I want to go do something. Well, might get off your duff and go help.
Yeah.
This makes it go better. It helps. And with the aspect of teamwork making the dream work, everybody should have, in my opinion, the dream of a good functional family.
Yeah.
Loving each other.
Mhm.
And if we're that way, if you can help out and take that load off of your spouse, whether it's a husband or a wife,
There's
that's
more time for video games.
there's more time for video games, more time for sleep, and there's more time for everything.
You're popular today.
Oh, you are. I'm not. But that's where we need to look at it and go, okay, if I do that one small thing, again, we talked about last week, these little things that show our wives that we love them just by, looking at them a couple weeks back.
Sharing in responsibilities is one way.
Absolutely. So if we do that, then we can lighten the load for our spouses, and we can ultimately spend more time together.
Yeah. And that's one of those, like, you can negotiate things like in our house, I maintain the outside of the house as well.
Yeah.
And I do all the cars. But I'm also, like, super picky about how clean the cars are. And Kim
Yes.
doesn't care. So I maintain the cars.
Yes.
I have fat hands. For a long time, I will wash the kids' clothes. I refuse to fold them. I just will not. And I will fold her clothes and my clothes, but I wouldn't fold the kids' clothes. So I would give her a basket of her clothes folded up, ready to put away. I'd put my own clothes away and a basket full of clean kids' clothes. I said, they're clean. Have at it. Because I just, like, I'm not, because they, they're kids. They're inside out. They're stuck together, whatever. And we don't separate our laundry. Like, it all just goes in and comes out, like, whatever.
Right.
Pre-shrunk is wonderful. But I just can't get my hands through clothes, so I'm not flipping I just don't care, for that matter.
Right.
There's some weeks I don't even flip my own clothes back right side out. I just fold them and put them away. They're bigger now, so now it's things like my kids put their own clothes away. But for a long time, I'd have them fold them, and I'd spend hours just trying to get them to fold their clothes. Well, now I fold them and put them in their laundry basket when they get home from school. All you gotta do is put them away, bro. 2 minutes. Just put your underwear in the drawer. But then there's things like I don't fold jammies and I don't fold dresses. Like, whatever. Anyway, sharing those kind of things. It's hard to, like, explain. Like, I do all the outside stuff, and I do the cars. Kim kind of maintains and helps the kids maintain the upstairs. That's not like a need to be clean every day, but the bottom floor of my house is a very public space. Like, we have church in here. I have youth service in here. We do this in here. So this one I pretty regularly go through, and it doesn't take very long. It's not a huge house. My son takes care of the dog. Like, that's his chore. So we split it up. But you can talk about those things. Like, when we were married pre-kids, I did the outside, Kim did the inside.
Yeah.
I definitely got the better end of that deal, because whatever. But I also have a wife who thinks that a clean toilet on Valentine's Day is the greatest gift ever. So
nice.
I did that one time. Like, I didn't do it because it was Valentine's Day. I cleaned the bathroom, and she posted, like, Valentine's Day, my husband cleaned the bathroom. Thank you.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Absolutely nothing.
But the idea is, for a normal relationship, everybody works. Everybody's at school. Everybody's doing something.
Yeah.
That the responsibility in 2021 is not solely on the wife.
No.
To take care of all of the chores.
Right.
Whatever those chores are. And frankly, sometimes if your kids are being grumpy, make them wash baseboards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Done that.
Me too. Yeah. We're going to talk, I know what next week's episode is. A little bit of next week's is continuing this, but in a more specific way.
Nice. Yeah.
Anyway, share the chores with your wife, because if you share the chores with your wife, I'm trying to think of a way to make this kid friendly. There's more time for other stuff if your wife's not cleaning the dishes. And other stuff means exactly what you think it means.
Yep. Or
video games. Or napping.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, my wife says happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah. Because that goes both ways then. If your husband's happy, great. If your wife's happy, great. Happy spouse.
If everybody's happy, there's more time for happy stuff.
Yes. And it makes
one day we will
happy.
have episodes talking about that, and we will have pre-claimers,
disclaimers,
warnings.
Yeah.
The following episode contains content not appropriate for children under the age of
18.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're good. I mean, these are important things that married couples need to discuss, and if you can discuss them early on, you'll avoid heartache later on.
Oh yeah, because that's why we do this. Because our wives will always love us. They won't always like us, But if we can do some things to make life more enjoyable together, because chores are inevitable. The trash has
Right.
to be taken out. The dishes got to be done. I mean, you could eat on paper plates your whole life. That would be okay. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not great for the environment.
Oh.
We like trees. Like dishes got to be put away and cleaned. Kids got to be cleaned and put away.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Like, there are some weeks. When we go to our cabin and we hang out,
Right.
almost like sometimes twice a day, our kids need a bath because it's just dirt everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And there are some days like we'll be going through and doing something, and Kim's working and blah 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 whatever. And it was like 3 days in a row she ended up with bath time because I was doing something or whatever. And so finally I was just like, whatever it was, I stopped it. I got bath time. Go
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll play a video game. Something.
Yeah, and bath time, one kid at a time, and they're dirty, so it takes a while. So it's
Right.
like an hour and a half of bath time, getting ready for bed, all that stuff. So like things like that. Like, hey, instead of sitting there are some things that are not negotiable. Like, stop asking me to do stuff during football.
There you go.
Whatever. But that doesn't mean on Tuesdays I can't do bath night. Like,
Right.
that's fine. Or whatever your stuff is. Yeah. Share the
Definitely.
responsibility.
Sharing.
Don't ask
Sharing
your
is
wife to do
caring.
it all.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to do that. Step up as men.
Yes. All right. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, ask us questions, share comments with us. We like to talk to people. Share the responsibility with your wife. And as always, if you need professional mental help, please seek it from somewhere where there are professionals, because we are not it.
Nope.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.